Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Today is Friday, July 29, 2016. I'm speaking with Dr. Vijoy Sharma Roy. This interview is being conducted in Plattsburgh, New York State. So, Dr. Roy, what was your desh? Where is your desh?
My father and mother, both of them were born in Sylhet district of what is now called Bangladesh, used to be called East Pakistan. Before that it was undivided India. I myself was born in a tea garden where my father used to work in Assam, which is about 14 miles from town of Silchar, big town of Silchar, district of Kachar, and I was born in that tea garden.
Okay. Now, what's the name of your ancestral village?
Village is called Baniachong village. Name of the village is Baniachong, and it is near a big town called Hobiganj. That's all I know. That's all I know.
So I know, I've been to Hobiganj. So what's your parents' name?
My father's name is late Bankim Chandra Sharma Roy.
And mother?
Late Shuniti Bala Sharma Roy.
Achha. What was their profession?
My father used to work in a tea garden. So when he retired, he was an assistant manager of Balimara Tea Estate.
And mother?
Mother, she was a housewife.
Okay.
All throughout.
How many brothers and sisters?
We are 4 brothers and 2 sisters.
Okay. Now, tell me, as you grow up, have you ever visited Hobiganj?
No. Only when I was very, very small, I don't remember how old I was. I went to my mother's place, which is called, the name of the village is Dimura, and that's all I remember. That I was taken to the pond and I took bath. That's all.
Oh, that's
I remember.
very nice.
That's all I remember.
So, do you know if any of your family stayed back in Sylhet?
Yes, my own uncle, my mother's second brother, he stayed back. In fact, their house was in Dimura, and he used to work in the district town of Sylhet. That's where he was a qualified Ayurveda Shastri, and he lived there. He's no more now, but all throughout his life with his family, he lived there. We did not have any connection. Last time I saw him was when I was about 8 or 9 years old.
Okay. So what happened to the other brothers or sisters of the family?
My mother had 3 brothers, and older one, he came to the Kachar district near Silchar, where I was born, India. And my father had a second house, and he offered that house to them. And my uncle, aunt, and the children, they live there. They are no more now, but children are still living there.
Okay. What about the other brothers?
Another brother, younger.
Other uncle, rather.
You mean the uncle? Okay. The younger one, he was a pharmacist. So he worked in different parts of Assam and as a pharmacist, and later on he was in the North Lakhimpur area, and he's also no more now. His family is there in the North Lakhimpur area.
So when did they leave and why did they leave?
Basically, I think, I may not be exactly right, but I think it was 1950 when my maternal uncle came to India. I think it was 1950.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. So at that time in our house, I remember about 30 or 40 different family members from mother's side, father's side, they came. So in our house, refugees, 30 or 40 Hindu refugees, 30 or 40 of them in our house. Then gradually some of them went to some other family members and some other place. So I remember that much.
So do you know how long this transition, why did they come? Have you ever, parents talked about this? Why did they leave their homeland?
At that time I was a kid, so
No.
you know, I was probably about 6 years old or something like that. So all I remember that there was a religious riot, and that's how they came.
Right, yeah,
That's
I
the-
mean,
yeah.
anti-Hindu riot, anti-Hindu
Exactly.
pogrom. basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why they came.
Riot. They used to. Yeah, I
They used to
remember.
call riot, but
Riot,
basically
yeah,
these
yeah.
are pogroms.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
That's
It's a
yeah,
clash
that's-
between two
Yeah,
groups, equal
yeah,
groups.
exactly.
So gradually people would come
Yeah.
and they stay with you. Your
Yeah.
parents would take care of them,
Mhm.
and then once they're able to, then they move to other
They
places.
moved to other places.
Do you
yeah.
know if your parents ever went back? They went back with you one time, but did they go back to visit their villages?
To my knowledge, my father and mother never went back to Bangladesh anymore.
So when did you go to visit Bangladesh? Who took you there? You took a
Uh,
bond.
As I said, that I was very young. Must be my mother took
Okay.
me there.
Okay,
yeah.
so you went with somebody.
Yeah.
So naturally, and
I was very young.
so you stayed with your mother's.
Yeah.
Uncle's
yeah,
place.
yeah.
So tell me, as you grow up in Kachar, and in Kachar was divided,
Yeah.
and Sylhet was divided. Kachar came to India,
Yeah.
right? So was there any Hindu-Muslim clash?
In Kachar, time to time there used to be some tension, but outright riot I did not see. I was in Kachar up to the age of about 18, and I remember time to time there used to be some tension, but never I saw
killing.
any
No
killing. No
Okay, no burning.
no killing.
So, but as you grow up in Kachar, was there any ill feeling about people who are coming from Eastern, or any good or bad feeling who are coming from East Pakistan?
Actually, I was in a tea garden, which was a kind of a secluded area.
Yeah,
But even when I went to college in Silchar town was mostly full of refugees, mostly from the other side.
From Sylhet.
From Sylhet.
Sylhet in
Yeah,
East
yeah.
Pakistan.
Mostly,
Bangladesh.
yeah.
So they almost dominated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So Metis became.
yeah.
So do you know if any of your relations, any of your relations other than your two maternal uncles, any of them lose any property or land or anything?
Just like when the country was divided, my father had his house in Bangladesh, that is Baniachong, but his job was in India, which is Assam.
Yeah.
So he lost his house, but he had a job here.
Yeah.
So that's how.
But did anybody pay compensation for the property?
Not to my knowledge, no. Not to my
Who lives there? Do you know? There's nobody in your.
I do not know.
Okay, but you didn't have any relation, father's brother or anybody else.
No.
Just,
Yeah. No,
just
no.
it was.
He just left it that way.
And
Yeah.
okay. Did your parents ever, as you grew up, did they ever think of going back, visiting their place?
As far as I remember, seriously, my father or mother never ever thought about going back, because they somehow felt that the way things are, that will not be a place they will be able to go back and settle there. No.
Okay. So you have not gone to Bangladesh either?
No.
Okay. Do you know, did anybody benefit because of partition of Bengal, and in your case partition of Assam? Did anybody, rich, poor, Hindu, Muslim, peasant, non-peasant, did anybody benefit because of partition of Assam?
A partition of
Partition of Bengal,
Bengal.
or partition of...
Only thing I can tell you, this is a supposition on my part, that most of the landed gentry were Hindus, and they left their land and came to Indian side. So I hope that the so-called downtrodden people, mostly they will be probably Muslim, probably they gained from it. That's all I can There was a supposition.
So do you think Hindus and Muslims can live together?
I feel that Hindus and Muslims can live together as any other different religions. I honestly believe that we are human beings, even though our religion is different, our skin color is different, our language is different, our other traditions are different. We have that capacity in each of us, amount of love we have inside of us, that we can, all of us, we can live together.
I'm almost to the end. So is there anything else that you like to say that I didn't ask you? Is there something else you like to add?
Only thing I want to say that I have seen many refugees in my growing up years, and I have seen the sufferings they have gone through, and sometimes I think that was it really necessary to for them to go through this? But I guess there were some forces in play which were beyond the capacity of the then politicians to have a handle on it, and that's why this happened, and so many thousands and thousands of people suffered.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.